All right, we're back. It's after hours. Travis Gibbs here, Jordan Lass. After a big weekend of football, but I think before we really go anywhere with this today, raise your hand if the Lions personally victimized you yesterday.
See, I'm not raising my hand because I saw this coming. I hate being right in this situation, but every fear that I had going into the season was put on national TV last night. Every single red flag that I had was realized.
Okay, I'm going to give myself at least. You can do what you want here. You're a grown man. You can do what you want.
Yeah.
I'm going to give myself 5 minutes to freak out, be an ass, and then I'm moving on. So I think that's the mature thing to do. Excuse my language, but what the fuck was that yesterday? What was that?
Bad enough for me to turn it off at half and just be done with it.
That was the most brutal loss the Lions have had in what, 2.5 years, maybe 3 years? When they went to Baltimore and got spanked. That's the last time I can think of, wow, they just got outclassed.
Yeah.
From the jump. I mean,
Yeah.
Green Bay jumped down their throats. I mean, went down and scored on a drive where, everybody's been talking about the pass rush, like you mentioned. What's it going to look like this year? Is Hutchinson ready to go for the season? 4 times they got him into 3rd and long on the first drive, converted each time because Jordan Love had enough time to make a goddamn sandwich back there before he threw a pass. And then the offense.
Mm-hmm.
The most pedestrian I've seen this offense since Anthony Lynn was calling plays. Conservative, check down. The O-line just looked terrible yesterday. And I mean, I really look at yesterday's game and I think, were they even prepared? Did they know that this game counted? Because that's what it felt like. It looked like it meant so much more to Green Bay, that game. They played with more energy. They played with a chip on their shoulder, and they bullied the Lions from kickoff to that final whistle at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't understand how that happens. And then Dan Campbell can jump up there at the end in a press conference and goes, "Oh yeah, we kind of know where we're at. We'll correct some things and it'll look different next week." Gee, thanks, Dan. Why don't you explain how that happened in the first place? I don't know. That's kind of where I stand on it. It looked like one team was prepared and the other one just wasn't.
I don't know. You and I were texting a little bit last night. I think Dan and Brad need to get "We're Good" t-shirts because that's gonna age really well. No, it's go back and listen to the podcast we recorded last week. Every red flag I gave you was realized last night. Yeah, it's just Terrion Arnold looks terrible. The fact that he said he played good before he injured, like, bro, don't kid yourself. Like, it was bad. It was bad start to finish. And the thing that I guess was so stark to me was the fact of how hard it looked for that offense to do anything. In contrast to the last 2 years where it just seemed like they did everything they wanted at will.
The thing that didn't make sense to me in that game, you turned it off at halftime.
The hiring of Morton?
Well, the thing that didn't make sense to me in terms of play calling in that game is how conservative it was. And then all of a sudden in the second half started and went right down the field and they didn't score a touchdown, but they got a field goal. They opened up the playbook and started throwing the ball down the field a little bit.
And you mentioned the field goals. I hate to bring it up, but that's what used to get you, or that's what used to get us killed way back when.
Right.
Great teams score touchdowns. Good teams score field goals. That's what we did yet. We scored too many field goals.
Yeah.
In other years where we would have scored touchdowns, we scored field goals, and that gets you killed in the NFL. It just does.
Well, the other thing that gets you killed is penalties, especially penalties in opportune times. I look at 2 situations that define this game, especially in the second half. The moment when the Lions were offsides on that punt, it gave Green Bay another attempt to punt the ball. It pinned them inside the 10-yard line. Goff gets sacked down by the goal line, and then all of a sudden, Jack Fox is punting out of the back of the end zone. And Green Bay gets a pretty good return. They start with the ball at Detroit's 35. That's just winning at all three phases if you're Green Bay. And they went from there and scored the touchdown to make it an 18-point game. The other thing was the one big play you had on defense gets called back because of a penalty.
Yeah.
I hate to say these three letters, but it was very SOL like.
That's why I brought up the field goals.
I don't know. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. So I'm done
So
now.
just looking at some things, and I hate to feel like I'm going after fans right now, but I have to do this in a lot of different ways. So everybody that was Micah Parsons is damaged goods, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to throw dirt on his name. They're not Micah Parsons away from the Super Bowl. He didn't really have a training camp. He was in a Packer uniform for 11 days, but he had 29 snaps, 1 sack, and 4 QB pressures. And really, he was making the ball come out pretty quick because Goff was scared.
Well, he threw the
So for
interception.
anyone that wants to say, oh, whatever about Micah Parsons, you can cram it, please.
Yeah.
And let's just take a look at some of this other stuff, like PPF grades. Your best players: Brian Branch, 87.1. After that, Anzalone, 81.1. Your highest rated offensive player, 71.9 at Laporta. Jahmyr Gibbs, 71.8. Amon-Ra, 70.6. Those are guys that are often in the 90s. You want to know your worst players? Graham Glasgow. Remember, we were going to be just fine on our offensive line? 43.2. DJ Reader. Dude's washed. 45.5.
Oh, my God.
DJ Reed, the guy you spent all this money for, he was going to transform our secondary. 47.7. Marcus Davenport, who you continue to re-sign. 53.5. Okay. Penei Sewell, 54.6. All pro, 54.6. And finally, Christian Mahogany at 54.6. So everybody that said everything was going to be fine and we were just going to win 14 games again, that ain't happening. Mm-hmm. When I told you last week that 7 was the floor, guess what? That's the floor. And it could damn well happen. If they play like that again, you'd be lucky to win 7 games. This is what happened. Aaron Glenn almost won. They played a great game yesterday.
That was a really good game to watch.
And if the Bears go out and they beat the Vikings, look out, because everybody that wanted to say, oh, we don't need Aaron Glenn, we don't need Ben Johnson, they weren't all that good. It's all Dan Campbell. He's an offensive savant. He's the next Andy Reid. Didn't look like it yesterday, did it?
I'm with you. Yeah, it was brutal to watch. It felt like I mentioned this on our morning show today, that when this type of thing happens I think the worst feeling, especially as a Lions fan, historically this franchise has been terrible.
Yeah.
Up until the last few years when Dan Campbell came in and they kind of reinvented their brand and their image, and they started winning a bunch of games. But when a loss like this happens, I don't know about you as a fan, but me as a Lions fan, I immediately go to, are we just bad again?
We might be.
Are we bad? Like, see, okay. I think you and I we've vented out some frustration here.
I will leave with one thing. For everybody that thought we were just going to be good for all these years, and the NFL stands for one thing, and that's not for long. And I think you realized that last night. You don't get unlimited runway. You blew the best 2 chances you were going to have with this regime. It's very clear. If you're going to do anything this year, you're going to have to scrap and claw for everything.
Right. It's back to the drawing board a little bit here for this team, but I think now it's fair to be a little bit we'll move towards rational a little bit more here. You listed a bunch of those PFF grades. I don't think Penei Sewell is going to live in the 50s in terms of a PFF grade going forward. I don't think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to live in the 70s of PFF grades. I don't think their core group of players are going to play that poorly all year. That's the
No,
big
but I
thing.
think because of what you have on the offensive line, I mean, Decker's getting older. I don't know that Glasgow is going to be a great center. Ratledge wasn't taken in the first round. Mahogany, can he improve? Like, I mean, I think why I'm so scared right now is because you win the ball on both sides of the line. What is our biggest weakness right now? Both sides of the line.
Yes.
That gives the alarm bells are going off in my head. I told you last week, if they can't run the ball, they're not going to be very good. Well, they can't run the ball right now. It doesn't matter what talent you have. If they don't have space, and
Yeah.
that decimates your passing attack. And that's my thing with Johnny Morton. Can I trust him with Jared Goff? Ben Johnson put that offense together around Jared Goff. Where was the pre-snap candy? Where was all of the things that we had before? So it may seem like I'm like doom and gloom guy and the sky is falling. Actually, I'm not, because I had all of these feelings a week ago, 2 weeks ago, all off season,
Yeah.
because they didn't address the things that they needed to. So you can say that I'm saying sky is falling. I've been warning this to everybody for weeks. So you can say what you will, but I'm not sky is falling. I'm in reality. I've been expecting this. And unless they do some major things, guys, it ain't going to get much better.
I'm going to bring up one scenario to you, and I mean, you can tell me I'm living in the clouds and I shouldn't be there, but I thought about this last night after having all the feelings you're expressing right now. I had a feeling, and I thought back to, do you remember in 23 when the Lions played San Francisco in the NFC title game? We
Yeah.
lost, obviously.
Yeah.
San Fran went on to go to the Super Bowl again.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco started that season. I believe they played the Chicago Bears that season to start the year, and it was a monsoon in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I the reason I remember this is because the Bears were celebrating at the end. They all ran down to the end zone and they all like slid because there was so much water on the field.
That.
Was this just a dud game? Kind of like that San Francisco 49ers team. They lose to a bad Chicago team to start the year, and they kind of get rolling after that. Hell, they didn't look good until week 3 or 4. I remember they had some questionable games right there at the beginning of the season. Is that this scenario with the Lions maybe? Because you see it a little. I think it's becoming a more like recurring theme in the NFL because so many of these teams do exactly what the Lions do. None of these players touch the field in the preseason. None of them. Even guys like Ratledge, I thought he should have played a lot more in the preseason. Mahogany, I thought that entire offensive line should have played together for at least a few series in the preseason because nothing can replicate game speed. I don't care what you do in scrimmages. I don't care what you do on the practice field leading up to the season. Nothing replicates game speed. And I'd like to sit here and think that maybe game 1, it was a dud. The energy was low. It looked bad all the way around. It wasn't just these select little groups like you mentioned. You listed a bunch of names there that looked bad. The team just looked bad. It wasn't just the offensive line. It wasn't just the defensive line. It was the skill players that have carried that team for years. So I'm looking at this game and I go, none of this looks right. None of it looks right.
No.
Is this just a dud? Because hear me out. If this happens again on Sunday against Chicago, then we can chalk it up to everything that you were talking about. Floor is a 7-win season. You might not make the playoffs. Hell, a lot of teams that start 0-2 don't make the playoffs. And then if you look at the next game after that, right, exactly. Ask those guys. They do it every year. Well, they won week 1, but still, first time they've won a week 1 game in a while.
And it was by a point.
Yeah, against the bad Browns team.
I was going to say the Browns covered.
But
No, as much as I want to say yes.
I'm just trying to be the voice of reason here for just a second.
You're going to get better play from, I think, some certain groups. Will you get better play from skill players, that kind of stuff? Yes. The reason I can't fully say yes is just because I don't know. There's no reinforcements coming on the defensive line. I
No.
mean, Aleem McNeil, maybe by Thanksgiving, you might see him, but he's again coming off an injury. Hutch had maybe 2 QB pressures and no sacks yesterday. He didn't look all that good. And I've been telling people it's going to take him till week 6 to be where he was before. But I don't see any really reinforcements coming on the defensive line. And again, that's where you win your games, is on the defense and offensive line. And until I see improvements or until I see reinforcements, I'm going to have to say no, partner.
I feel like in order for me to fully lean to that end of the spectrum, I have to see them do this again. And I mean, there's every opportunity to do it against Chicago next week, because that's a team that took you to the wire in your building on Thanksgiving. And if it wasn't for Eberflus filling his diaper at the end of the game, you might have lost.
You probably would have.
So it's a team talent wise that's not that far behind you, I don't think.
I think all eyes need to be on that game tonight.
Oh yeah, because I mean, we're gonna know really quick if Ben Johnson's the real deal as a head coach.
Oh, of course.
Because I'm not gonna sit here and say like he's this great head coach until I see him coach a game. I'm just not.
But we all know he's a good offensive mind, and now he has a very talented quarterback that everybody wants to throw dirt on. So I'm just saying, if he comes out and they score north of 30 points, like, I'd be filling my Pampers if I were a Lions fan.
Well, that's the Lions. 27-13 in Green Bay to start week 1 of the regular season.
You know what? Let's just take a look at the future line if it's currently out for next week, just because, serves some purpose. You can learn a lot by a line, and obviously it's going to change depending on what we see from that game tonight. But let's see if it's up. 4.5. I would feel a lot worse if it was 5.5, because that's the Devil's number. But 4.5
in favor of Detroit.
Correct. I think if Detroit or if Chicago goes out and they win and they play a really good game, that you'll see it fall to 3.
Which is basically even money, because you get a 3-point swing.
2.5, 3. They're saying it's pretty close to it.
But that tells you right now that Vegas even thinks Detroit's going to bounce back next week. Which, and hear me out, I think we can all have a collective sigh of relief if that does happen.
Yes, I think we can.
Granted, then they go to Baltimore. If you look at their upcoming schedule,
it's brutal. Yeah, it's brutal, guys. Like,
yeah,
that's why I've been sounding the alarms. Like, you could potentially go 1-6 again. Like, it's not friendly.
No.
And you go to some tough places to play.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that stuck out to you? One big thing for me, Daniel Jones and the Colts. Wow.
Is that more about the Colts, or is it more about the Dolphins?
Are done.
I saw a video over the weekend of this really shifty, fast white dude running around on a field playing flag football, and it said Mike McDaniel after week 7 when he gets fired, and it's just this white dude just outrunning and catching balls over everybody on a football field playing flag football. And it's true. He's a dead man walking. He really is.
There was a lot of low scores.
See, and okay, I'm not gonna. This is not exactly to prove.
Except Sunday Night Football,
right? But this is not exactly to prove my point here. But you see a lot of this early on in the season now, where teams, they're like,
yeah, but a lot of times where it's both teams are within, 4 to 8 points. I mean, I hate to say it was lopsided.
Yeah.
1000%. And if Tesla doesn't make an unbelievable catch, it doesn't look nearly as good.
Yeah.
And that was really a garbage time touchdown. Other than that, not a ton stuck out to me. I was kind of surprised to see the Patriots lose. That Jets game was a good one.
I was really surprised at how well Aaron Rodgers played in that game.
Yeah, he's still got a little left in the tank.
I mean,
Justin Fields.
yeah.
Aaron Glenn, man, I told you, like, they looked okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the most offense the Jets have seen since what? I mean,
it's been a while.
It's been a while since the Jets have been a good offensive team. Even the years where they were making the playoffs with Rex Ryan, they weren't a good offensive team.
No.
The defense ran that show. I was a little surprised about the Jaguars Panthers score. I know Carolina's booty, but I mean,
I thought Carolina would have played better.
Yeah,
I'm not
same.
surprised by the win. I just thought they would have made it a little closer.
I mean, the fact that it was 20-3 at halftime, that's pretty lopsided.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bryce Young, his line, 18 out of 35, 154 through the air, and a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Quarterback rating of 49. Yikes.
But that was about it to you?
Yeah, I mean, nothing else. I think the game that I'm most looking forward to outside of what was the Green Bay and Detroit game is what happens tonight, because I'm interested to see what JJ McCarthy looks like. I'm interested to see what
Caleb and BJ look like together.
I think that's what I care about the most.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching. It's going to be appointment listening. I'm going to bet on it too, just so I have a little extra motivation to watch it. But do you want to get to the main course? Because I know you and I have been waiting big time for this.
I had a really good segue set up there, but I kind of
let's do your segue. Let's do your segue.
Okay, speaking of pedestrian offense, how about those Michigan Wolverines?
I like it.
How about those Michigan Wolverines? I mean, I watched Michigan play on Saturday with one of my buddies in my garage. I had the Michigan State game going on my phone, and I thought, I'm like, why is this? You got this gunslinger playing quarterback for you now. What is with this offense? It's like they're afraid to push it down the field. And then the Lions were the same way. I think they look so similar in terms of game plan. A lot of plays at the line of scrimmage.
Bryce Underwood was going to win the Heisman.
Yeah. Dude,
you dopes.
he completed 9 out of his 25 passes.
He looked like Joe Milton when he was in a U of M uniform.
He kind of did. He kind of did.
An orgy. Like, guys, this is why you don't buy the hype machine that is U of M. That's all they do. They're a giant hype machine. Remember Sam McGuffey? Remember all these players? Like, calm down.
Right. Denard Robinson.
We told all of you. And then I got to look at Portnoy's video where he's like, it's not good and it's not good. I'm like, you were like dropping your nuts on the table 2 minutes ago before the game. Like,
yeah,
this is what you guys get. You got the taste of reality. You're not that good of a football team. I hate to break it to you.
And I'm going to say this because there's not a lot of them. Did most reasonable Michigan fans really think they were going to go into Norman and win that game? Like,
but how many reasonable Michigan fans are there?
That's true.
Like,
no,
I don't know any. I mean, you asked me, but like, I don't know any reasonable.
Like the guy that sits in that chair in the morning here, sat here last week and tried to tell me that, oh yeah, Oklahoma's really not that good. I'm like, but dude, it's still going on the road and playing an SEC team.
Yeah, silly Michigan fans.
An SEC program, by the way, that's had a lot of success.
Mateer looked pretty good.
Mateer looked pretty good. That defense looked incredible. But their defense was great last year. They just couldn't score points.
You silly Michigan fans.
I mean, if that Oklahoma team plays in the Big Ten, they have a shot at winning the Big Ten.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of state schools that don't perform, how about Florida losing to South Florida?
Oh, but I saw that coming from a mile away.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah. Brutal, dude. Brutal.
But we got to get to our other state school.
Well, and hear me out. I'm going to say this really quick too. Michigan looked like a team that didn't deserve to be ranked in the top 20.
Shocking.
Right. Let me ask you this before we move on to Michigan State. How long does Sherrone Moore have there?
I think his leash is shorter because of the whole cheating scandal.
I think getting Underwood to commit to Michigan probably bought him the entire year this year and the start of next year. But
And realistically, he only has donors to thank for that.
Right, well,
it's
for
not
sure.
a recruiting thing anymore. It's
100%.
who's got the biggest bag.
Right,
For the
100%.
kids.
I think if this product looks the way it did again this year, and then more of that trickles over into 26? Yeah,
6.
20. I almost said 27. Jesus, we're getting old.
Yeah, we are.
If this trickles over, if they look the way they did on Saturday for most of the season, they go 7-5, 8-4, and then that starts to trickle into next year again, he's gone.
Oh, yeah.
But I think most reasonable people knew he was the fall guy.
Yeah.
He was 100% the fall guy.
Yeah, and the other guy that's so innocent and such a great guy. Great innocent guys don't get a 10-year show cause.
Right. That sign that they had on College Game Day, the Oklahoma fan that said Harbaugh has 13 years until he can steal this sign. That was nice.
That was amazing.
A lot of those were good. And then did you see the cringy video of those guys singing the fight song to those kids playing poker on campus? They said, like, what are you guys? It's very cult like, is it?
They are a cult. They are. I hate to say it, but
God,
it is.
I mean, hear me out. And if you're a Michigan fan, like, there's a chance that this looks better throughout the season. There's a chance that Bryce continues to improve.
Yeah, he's gonna show games where he's not good.
I mean, I think you got to let go of the fact that this defense is not the defense you've had in years past. They're going to give up points. That's just that's who they are.
Over pursue. I know he said a lot the first
undisciplined.
Game, more the second. Speaking of undisciplined, Western Michigan. We're not going to talk about it, but they blew that game against North Texas.
Oh, they played North Texas.
Oh,
is that the Mean Green?
Yeah. I mean, the Mean Green, I think they were favored by 11.5.
Yeah.
You wouldn't tell by the broadcast I was working. They made it sound like North Texas thought they were going to lose. I'm like, what? Okay, no, but
yeah, right.
Yeah, no, they went to overtime, and even at the end of the game, blew it on turnover. On penalties. I can't stand teams that lose on penalties.
Yeah, it's awful. I mean, none of the directional schools did that well. Central got smoked by Pitt.
Yeah.
Because they can't throw a forward pass. That's part of their problem. But I guess that's what happens when you hire Army's offensive coordinator to be your head coach. They don't do a lot of throwing of the football at Army.
No.
Anyway, those are the directional schools. Michigan State, I guess, really was the only team in the state that could provide any type of happiness for people this weekend.
Tigers lost 2 or 3 against the Sox.
See, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, they look like shit going into the regular into the postseason. I mean, how else am I going to say it? Really, they look like a clown car waiting to break down as soon as they enter the playoffs.
Who didn't look like a clown car on Saturday? Child's brother. Wow.
Hear me out.
He didn't flinch.
I'm going to say this. I'm happy about the win. I am. I'm happy that they won that game. It was exciting. It was a good game. Michigan State's not a great team.
I disagree.
Aiden Childs, if they want to do anything significant this year, and if we're talking about significant with Michigan State,
it's 8 wins.
That's I would say significant. If you're talking about a real success this year, I would put it at 9 wins. Because the Big Ten doesn't look great this year. Nobody.
See, but that's why I'm like, I don't know if I agree with you. I know they gave up like 41, but like they've got an offense. He didn't turn the ball over.
That's the key going forward.
Well,
yes, 100%. 5 touchdowns in the game, 1 on the ground.
He was electric.
Oh,
electric.
For sure. And this is the first time we've seen this against a decent team.
Yeah.
So no, I agree with you. I don't think the team around him is there yet, but
give it time.
Childs looked good, and if they're gonna hit, like you said, the 8-9 win, that marker,
he's gonna have to play well.
He's gonna have to be electric. He's gonna have to be the guy that doesn't turn the ball over like last year. So I look at it as, it's a minor improvement from last year, because last year's team loses that game. Every day ended in Y. Yeah. So I like the way they looked offensively. The defense, they don't get any pressure on the quarterback. They give up big plays in the secondary. That's a problem waiting to happen when you play a good team. And Boston College isn't a great team either. They have a new quarterback. Bill O'Brien's their head coach. Really, how good can you be with Bill O'Brien being your head coach? I mean, I'm happy they won. My expectations are still low as a State fan after watching it. Low-ish. I think they make a bowl game now. There. I think they get 6 wins. You want me to be happy about that? Do you really want me to be happy about 6-6? I don't know.
Clemson damn near lost to Troy. That did not look good for a while there. Yeah, Mississippi State beat Arizona State. I saw that coming. Arizona State is just not the team they were last year.
More cowbell.
I did see Iowa State finally beat Iowa. It's been a long time.
That was an ugly game. I don't know if you watched any of it.
I've had the unfortunate pleasure of being parts of some of those games. It's always a rock fight. It's two bums fighting over a sandwich.
Yeah.
Iowa State's offense is never really good. Iowa State's defense is really good, but the offense stinks. I don't know. I mean, they were 16th going in. I mean, they're going to go up. Like, Iowa State might be that Big 12 team this year.
Maybe, because Arizona State doesn't look the part.
Baylor beat SMU. SMU was ranked.
Really quick before you move on from that game, the Iowa State game. Why the hell does Kirk Ferentz still have a job?
Dude, I've been saying this for half a decade.
You know he's about to pass Woody Hayes in all-time wins for Big Ten history?
Yeah.
How?
Because they have these 8, 9, 10 win seasons.
They haven't been able to throw a forward pass in Iowa City since like 2016.
I know.
It makes no sense to me.
When you bring it up with people out there, because backstory, people, I lived in Iowa, Cedar Rapids, just north of Iowa City for a year. We were the flagship for them.
For Hawkeye football. Okay.
So I still know a lot of Iowa people. Anytime I even reference getting rid of Ferentz on Facebook, I get eaten alive.
Really?
He can do no wrong to these people.
Oh my God.
I don't understand it.
You need higher standards.
Like, don't you want something else?
Right. I feel like that's a sleeping giant of
even
a program.
Even with Graham McCaffrey, forever they.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gone now, but like, thank God. But people just, sunshine and rainbows.
We waved to the kids in the hospital.
Because they still.
I'm
talk
sorry,
about
that
guys,
was. I'm sorry, that was mean.
No, but they still talk about guys like Hayden Fry. Like,
come on, dude.
Move on.
Come on.
Or the one quarterback, Long. Like, guys, it's like
over.
U of M talking about championships back in the 30s. Nobody cares.
Nobody threw a forward pass.
Please.
In the 30s.
And they wore leather helmets. Like,
right.
Come on.
Well, I mean, Iowa football might as well wear leather helmets and, play 1930s style football. Their offense is just pitiful.
It's putrid every year.
I don't know how anybody could sit from September to the end of November watching that brand of football. It's brutal.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, I watched Michigan State do it for a couple of years, but man, at least we got Childs now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
other than that, I mean, there really weren't too many shocking games. I mean, was there anything that stuck out to you?
From college football on Saturday.
I mean, while you think about that, Western was up, and I think it was a penalty that kept a drive going into the tie, and then in overtime they committed penalty. Hey, God, like, can we get watching Western basketball and watching Western football? Very similar, very undisciplined teams. Make too many mistakes.
It's like banging your head against a wall.
Oh my God, dude. Like,
I will say this one surprised me. The way Illinois just handled Duke. I know it's Duke football, but I mean, Manny Diaz is their coach now. You say his name right?
Yeah, it's Manny Diaz.
Yeah, it's Manny Diaz. Yeah. I mean, the way they just went in there, I saw it. They were building a pretty good lead. It was 31-19 at one point. I didn't realize it was 45-19 for the final.
And everybody's been talking about them all off season, and they're not a hype machine, unlike U of M. I don't know. I mean, 52-3 against Western Illinois is one thing, but even a as ACC program like Duke, I mean, I know they're not cream of the crop right now, but to go in there and win 45-19.
I mean, Duke's usually a 7-5 program. I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe
they
8 wins if they get
maybe,
lucky.
yeah. And you bring in a coach like Manny Diaz, who had a lot of success as the defensive coordinator at Penn State. You think maybe
Speaking of Western Michigan, they play on this weekend.
who?
Illinois.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Oh, dude, I'd love to, I'd love to know what the line is on that one. But yeah, if they're the real deal, to go out there and they'll beat the Broncos over the head with a rock.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then they got Indiana the week after. That's good. That's gonna be one heck of a game.
Yeah.
That's it at Indiana. Those schools hate each other. Like that's gonna be must watch football.
It's talking about a hype machine.
I cannot stand Indiana. They are FAF. Fake as fuck.
There you go. I know this thing. You mentioned hype.
You know how much of a problem I have with it. Like my God.
I mean,
schedule teams that matter. Please
talking
don't
about
play
a hype
children
machine.
of the blind.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Right there.
Hype machine. So the Signetti hype machine. I know the arrow's pointing straight up.
His arrow's probably pointing straight up.
All right. On that note, I think we're good here. We're done. It's After Hours. Travis Gibbs, Jordan Lass.